Excellencies, fellow ministers, SOM Chair of the APEC 2020, Executive Director of the APEC Secretariat, APEC representative, observers, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I am Rina Muhammad Harun, the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development of Malaysia. Would like to welcome all of you to the 2020 virtual high-level policy dialogue on the women and the economy meeting today. I would like to extend my apologies for not being able to be with you throughout the meeting today. My absence is due to the advice by the Ministry of Health that I have to be self-quarantined due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, we seek your kind understanding and tolerance for this meeting to later be chaired by our esteemed Secretary General Datuk Dr. Junaida. I am also taking this opportunity to convey my utmost appreciation to the SOM Chair of APEC 2020, APEC Secretariat and the PPWE for their dedication in organising this meeting. Distinguished colleagues, the COVID-19 crisis has undoubtedly posed great adversity to many, but it also paved the way for APEC community to come together even more cohesively and innovatively. Hence, it is such an honor for us to witness every economic commitment to still be here despite the time difference and challenging circumstances, particularly in adapting to the new but steady norm of APEC virtual meetings. In responding and adjusting to this crisis, Malaysia's hosting of the Women and Economic Forum, including this meeting, has to be realigned in terms of its formal and configuration. Nonetheless, I would like to believe that our main attention and commitment to enhance women's agenda, especially in strengthening socio-economic well-being of all women and girls in this region, remains indispensable. The COVID-19 crisis affects men and women in different ways. Women are harder hit by the compounded economic impacts, as generally they are earning and saving less than men. According to the Beijing 25 Global Data Analysis on Women's Economic and Productive Life, of those women who are employed, 58% or 740 million are in the informal economy. Additionally, women aged 25 to 34 are 25% more likely than men to live in extreme poverty. Globally, according to the World Economic Forum, the majority of those on the front lines of the pandemic are women, because women make up 70% of all health and social services staff. In this relation, it is critical for APEC economies, which are home to around 38% of the world's population and represent approximately 60% of the world GDP, to pivot our priorities to urgently support and empower these women accordingly. Given the current reality surrounding us, this year's theme for the HLPDWE is Advancing Women Economic Empowerment to Strengthen Post-Pandemic Recovery and Resilience. This theme has been chosen to effectively address the varying levels of multidimensional and damaging impacts of the pandemic confronting women and girls. This forum is hence not just a platform of policy discourse, but also a joint action motivated by the push towards achieving equal access to resources and opportunities for women and girls to benefit from and contribute to economic development in pursuit of equally shared prosperity of our people. Distinguished colleagues, I would also like to thank Chile for the leadership in PPWE, which has successfully convened twice on 20th August and 21st September this year. Discussion at the PPWE have focused on two fronts, namely economic and social impacts on women and girls, and women-specific recovery instruments which economies have initiated domestically. In Malaysia's experience, the government announced the Prihatin Economic Stimulus Package in March 2020, amounting to $60 billion, followed by the Penjana Economic Stimulus Package with an additional allocation of $8.4 billion in June 2020. Both stimulus packages are aimed at helping Malaysian individuals and business entities withstand the hardship brought about by the pandemic and the movement control order that had to be implemented to break the chain of COVID-19 transmission. These packages have also considered women's specific needs, particularly in terms of financial support, skills development and social protection during the pandemic, as well as enabling them in moving forward for a sustainable recovery. I was informed that economies have shared various gender-sensitive and gender-responsive recovery initiatives during the PPWE1 and PPWE2 meetings. While some are unique, there are also some that share similarities. For example, the moratorium, wage subsidy program, and inducements to further enlarge women's participation in gig economy. No matter how comparable or distinctive these measures may be among APEC's economies, I am happy to note that we mutually commit to place women at the center of economic recovery efforts. Based on this observation, I am confident that we are on the right path in steering our region towards swift and full emergence from this economic slump for a resilient future of shared prosperity. Along with the confidence, however, I do believe that more could be done. For example, women's participation is still lacking in digital economy, leadership roles in various levels of decision-making processes, as well as in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Hence, I strongly urge the APEC strengthens public-private partnership and engagement with industries. Hence, I strongly urge that APEC strengthens public-private partnership and engagements with industry with the support from ABEC to work towards this cause. To this end, I believe that the La Serena Roadmap for Women and Inclusive Growth serves as an important guide until 2030. I commend efforts by Chile and Malaysia as co-partners together with all economies in developing the implementation plan of the La Serena Roadmap. I understand that the discussions are ongoing towards finalizing the plan soon, and I must thank everyone for working tirelessly, which can be seen from the significant progress achieved thus far. It will undeniably further propel women agenda in APEC. Colleagues, this concludes my opening remarks. I now hand over the meeting to Datuk Dr. Junaida, and I wish everyone a constructive discussion ahead. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.